We often hear the phrase, there are many wronged people in prison, but today it applies to Bing, the young man who spent the best years of his life behind bars. The officer asks him, "Are you still thinking about revenge now that you're about to get out?" Bing replies, 3 years ago, there was a guy named Xiao who hurt my girlfriend. I should have defended her and hit him, but he got me locked up because of his powerful connections. But I learned here to live with dignity, even if I have only 1 minute left. When I get out, I'll pay him back for what he did, double. The officer says, "You're right, get out, Bing, but think 1,000 times before you come back here again." After 3 years in prison, Bing takes the bus back to his simple neighborhood, where thugs control everything and force people to pay up. A woman gives money to one of them, but he says, "What is this nonsense? I want $100. The woman replies, "It's 10,000 yuan as you asked. You can count it to make sure." He hits her and says, "I don't have time for you." Upon returning, Bing rushes to his mother, who is overjoyed to see him after 3 years, not believing he was still alive. She feels the pain from the hit, and Bing tells her, "A blow to the stomach broke a rib and caused a few minor bruises on my knee and joint." He reassures her that no one will hurt her again. He warns her saying, "Don't be reckless. You're still fresh out of prison." The thug responds, "Take your mom and walk, or do you need a doctor?" They laugh. Bing confronts them, saying, "I'll start with you," dodges one of their punches, and throws him onto a rock to break his rib. The others rush at him, but he takes them down with one hit. They try to escape, but he says, "Where do you think you're going?" He attacks one of them, saying, "You're all dogs who've hurt the small and the big, and soon your leader Xiao will pay the price." The leader of the thugs surprises him, saying, "The girl you defended is going to marry our boss Xiao." Bing is shocked. The leader replies, "If you want to come, we'll be at the Regal Hotel." Bing gets angry, and everyone runs away, but he calms down and takes his mother, who warns him against getting into trouble, and he reassures her that he will stay by her side. He remembers the days in prison when he saw inmates beating an old man who was laughing, and when they asked him if he was okay with the beating, he replied, "You haven't eaten today. Hit harder." When Bing intervened, asking why they were hitting the old man who didn't know what was happening, they threatened to beat him if he didn't leave. Bing defends the man and fights with them, while the old man keeps laughing until the end of the brawl. The next day, Bing decides to visit his girlfriend Shan Chal. When he arrives, he faces her mother, who says, "Why are you here? My daughter is getting married soon." But Bing is determined to see her. When Shan Chal sees Bing, she says, "Bing, leave now, and don't come back. I've decided to marry Xiao." Bing asks her, "Is this what you want?" She replies, "Bing, you can't provide me with a life like Xiao can. Look at yourself and where he is." She adds, "For the sake of our old friendship, take this money and forget what we had." But Bing refuses the offer. At that moment, Xiao arrives in his luxury car and says to Bing, "I heard you got out of prison. I guess you came to congratulate us. Don't forget to attend the wedding at the expensive Regal Hotel. You'll see all the food you missed in prison. Or do you plan to do something else and end up back in jail?" Bing laughs and says, "I was planning revenge, but what I saw today changed my mind. I'll start playing a different game." Bing decides to leave, and Shan Chal asks Xiao to let him be. As Bing walks away, he gets lost in his thoughts and doesn't notice the red light, colliding with a car that knocks him to the ground. A girl named Yuki gets out of the car and asks about his condition. Her elderly father approaches and asks, "Are you okay?" and offers him financial compensation. Bing hears the girl's father cough and feels that his health isn't good. Bing says, "There's no time. Your father could lose his breath in 5 minutes and die." Yuki sarcastically replies, "Dad just has a cold. He'll be fine soon." When her father asks how Bing knows what he's suffering from, Bing responds, "There's no time to explain. I need to help him." Bing starts performing specific strikes on the man's body, which makes him feel somewhat better, and he says his illness has been rooted for years, trying to stop its spread, but he needs long-term treatment. The man thanks Bing and offers him a reward, but Bing says, "I didn't help you for anything. I did it because you're a respectable man." Mr. Wenzong replies, "Then let's go have dinner together and you can follow up on my condition there." Bing agrees to dinner and suggests they can talk in Mr. Wenzong's suite at the Regal Hotel. As they head to dinner, Bing remembers the advice of his old friend in prison, who taught him the secrets of the body and the power of qi, capable of performing miracles. Bing asks the old man, "Are you sick, uncle? What do you mean by something in miracles?" The old man replies, hitting him, "You're a tired generation that doesn't understand anything. But even if you don't want to, you'll learn whether you like it or not. Things have chosen you." Bing, confused, says, "What did you drink?" "I don't understand anything." The old man replies, "Grape juice, and it shouldn't make you dizzy until I can see what level you've reached in your training." As Bing returns to treat Mr. Wenzong, he asks, "What are you lost in thought about?" Bing replies, "Don't worry, let's check your pulse first." first. Mr. Wenzong's condition worsens, and his daughter calls the city's top doctors to examine him, and the doctor scolds her saying, "What have you done with your father?" The doctor replies, "Clearly someone stimulated your father's immunity for a short time, but the illness has returned." Yuki tries to attack Bing, saying, "You hurt my father!" But he replies, "If I hadn't done what I did, your father would have died a while ago." She asks the doctor, "Do something," but he replies that there's no solution other than acupuncture. Bing then asks what the doctor intends to do, and the doctor replies, "That's none of your business." Yuki asks Bing to leave, and he replies, "Miss Yuki, I know where the door is, but out of respect for your father, I'll wait at the door for 5 minutes, and if you need me, you'll find me outside." He leaves the room while the doctor tries to revive her father, whose condition is worsening. Yuki tells the doctor, "Act quickly." He replies that they need to go to the hospital immediately. The doctor points out that the boy outside is the reason for what happened to her father. Yuki remembers Bing saying he would wait outside for a few minutes, so she goes out to ask him for help. Bing enters again and says the illness is spreading more in her father. He asks Dr. San for the needles, using a technique he learned in prison called full body activation, which uses 99 needles. The doctor watches what he's doing and says, "Take me as your student, let me learn from you." Yuki notices and says, "Dr. San, my dad hasn't been treated yet." He replies, "You don't understand. The resurrection needle can only be executed by legends of ancient medicine, and it can cure all diseases of the body at once." Bing responds, "Now is not the time to talk." He uses the needles to restore the father's health. Mr. Wenzong wakes up from his coma, and Bing tells him, "Mr. Wenzong, I helped you, but your illness is serious. You have a maximum of 3 months to live." Mr. Wenzong offers, "I'll give you everything I have. Help me, son, if you can." He hands him a paper with some special requests for his treatment. His daughter asks why he needs a writing brush, and he replies, "These aren't ordinary writing tools. They're spiritual tools with multiple uses." She asks about the piece that lights up in his hand, and he explains, "This isn't a spiritual piece. It's a tool I can use to tell if something is spiritual or not." When Mr. Wenzong inquires about his health condition, Bing replies, "The illness in your body is very strange, and it seems like a malignant disease." Mr. Wenzong recounts his story saying, "20 years ago, I was young and fell into a deal where I was harmed by a competitor who transferred a strange type of energy to me." Yuki tries to intervene and asks who harmed him, but Mr. Wenzong kindly tells her, "That was a long time ago. Let's not reopen old wounds and let Bing rest." But Bing remembers the old man's advice he received during his training, where the old man transferred a type of dark energy to him. The old man advised him saying, "If you don't train daily, this energy will become a curse instead of a blessing." He explained that the dark energy could destroy his body and limbs. So Bing trained daily in prison, and even now, no one knows why the old man chose him, but strangely, he felt a significant change in his body within just 3 days of training. At the same time, his body struggled to bear this energy. Before leaving Mr. Wenzong's house, he said, "If you need anything, you can call me." Mr. Wenzong replied that he didn't know where he lived, so Bing told him he lived in the popular area of Full. Mr. Wenzong offered Bing a gift of 10 million yuan and a house, thanking him for saving his life. But Bing replied, "That area is full of rich people. I can't accept this gift." Mr. Wenzong insisted, saying, "You saved my life. Is that too much for you? You must accept the gift." In the end, Bing agreed to accept it as a form of courtesy. Suddenly, they heard noises in the hotel. The hotel manager came and apologized to Mr. Wenzong, explaining that there was a special wedding for the Xiao family, and they were the cause of the noise. Everyone began to say their goodbyes, and as Bing was leaving, he spotted his old girlfriend with Xiao. Xiao mockingly said to him, "Bing, you've already attended the party. You must have come to eat and drink, right?" Bing started to walk away, but Xiao stopped him, saying, "I'm not done talking yet." He continued, "Don't you want to say anything to your girlfriend on her wedding day?" Shanshan interjected, urging Xiao to stop talking and move on to avoid wasting time. At that moment, Shanshan's mother asked why Bing was there, then angrily demanded that he leave immediately or she would call security. The guests burst into laughter, which only fueled Bing's anger, forcing them to step back in fear. Xiao seized the opportunity to order everyone to restrain Bing, confidently claiming that Bing would stay to watch Shan become his wife. Bing, unbothered, replied that his presence might ruin the wedding. The guests continued mocking Bing, ridiculing his audacity and current status. Xiao demanded more guards to ensure Bing was controlled and even instructed them to kill him if he caused any trouble. Despite the tension, the guards reassured Xiao that everything was under control. Bing entered the wedding hall, sparking whispers among the attendees, with some recognizing him as Shan's ex-boyfriend. His old acquaintances taunted him, bringing up his time as a university student leader and mocking his recent prison release. They sarcastically suggested degrading jobs, trying to humiliate him. Bing suppressed his anger and calmly warned them to stop testing his patience. When one of the women accused him of seeking revenge for Shan's betrayal, Bing struck her. Xiao commanded his guards to attack Bing, but Bing swiftly countered their moves, taking down 5 guards in an instant. Xiao, shocked by Bing's strength, prepared to retaliate, but his father intervened, advising against challenging Bing. The commotion escalated, reaching Mr. Wenzhong in his suite. Furious, he questioned if it was a wedding or a full-blown brawl. The hotel manager nervously explained the situation, emphasizing the Xiao family's influence and how difficult it was to manage. Wenzhong decided to intervene, but his daughter Yuki volunteered to handle the matter herself, believing her family's reputation could resolve it. Meanwhile, Xiao insisted Bing be punished for ruining the wedding and hurting his guards. However, when Xiao himself tried to attack Bing broke his arm and mocked him. Xiao's father threatened Bing with death, but Yuki stepped in, addressing the situation. She vouched for Bing's integrity, stating he was a respectable man who had treated her father. Shan's fiancé dismissed Yuki's claims, calling Bing a fraud, but Yuki firmly stood by her words. As tensions peaked, Xiao ordered the hall doors closed, but Yuki pleaded for calm, refusing to let the situation spiral further. Xiao's father attacked Yuki, but Bing intervened, stopping the attack and scolding Xiao's father for his lack of respect. At that moment, security prepared to escalate the situation, but Mr. Wenzhong arrived, commanding everyone to stand down. Declaring Bing his guest, Wenzhong warned the Xiao family to stay away from him. Xiao's father, enraged, threatened Wenzhong, but the latter held his ground. Suddenly, the mention of Lord Huo from the Nanyang Hall escalated the tension further. Huo's arrival shifted the dynamics, as he was a figure feared by many. Bing, unfazed, expressed gratitude to Wenzhong for his unwavering support. However, as Huo's forces arrived, the atmosphere grew tense. To everyone's surprise, Huo recognized the significance of Bing's dragon ring, a symbol of supreme authority. Huo and his men immediately pledged loyalty to Bing, revealing his unexpected inheritance as the leader of the Nanyang Hall. The revelation left Bing reflecting on the man he met in prison who had entrusted him with the ring. The old man had hinted at Bing's future, urging him to visit a specific island on July 15th to uncover the full extent of his destiny. Bing now began to realize the gravity of his new role, commanding immense power and responsibility. With the wedding dissolved and the Xiao family humiliated, the story took a dramatic turn. Bing's rise to power and his connection to the mysterious Nanyang Hall set the stage for further challenges. Meanwhile, Wenzhong privately discussed with his daughter Yuki, hinting at her feelings for Bing, though she denied them vehemently. Still, Wenzhong ensured Bing's safety by arranging a protective escort, anticipating further threats from the Xiao family. Bing's journey was only beginning. With unanswered questions surrounding the old man's true intentions, the power of the dragon ring, and the secrets awaiting him on the island, Bing took his parents to the luxurious villa he had recently acquired. His parents were puzzled about why he chose such an expensive neighborhood. Bing assured them that everything was taken care of, but when they arrived, security guards stopped them. The guards doubted Bing's claim of ownership, suspecting he had the wrong address. Bing showed them the key to the villa, but they insisted the property belonged to the Su family, specifically Shan, Bing's unfaithful ex-girlfriend. Shan's friends noticed Bing and began mocking him. They questioned why someone like him was there, claiming that a poor man whose father worked as a janitor had no place among the wealthy. Bing's mother, embarrassed by the situation, suggested they leave. However, Bing stood his ground, refusing to back down. Just as tensions escalated, Yuki arrived, apologizing for not informing the security team about Bing's arrival. She explained that she had gifted the villa to Bing, surprising his parents. Bing's mother was impressed by Yuki's kindness and expressed her gratitude. Afterward, Bing's family settled in, and Yuki stayed to have tea with them. Shan and her friends, who had witnessed the entire scene, began plotting against Bing, feeling enraged that he had managed to secure such a prestigious property. Meanwhile, Bing continued to train rigorously, following the old man's instructions from prison. He felt ready to begin his search for the mystical tools and headed to the market. At the market, Bing encountered a merchant selling a rare artifact, claiming it was one of a kind. Recognizing the artifact's authenticity, Bing agreed to the hefty price of 1 million yuan. After cleaning it, he discovered it was a valuable piece of green jade. The discovery created a buzz among the onlookers, who realized Bing had stumbled upon a treasure. The merchant, regretting the sale, demanded the artifact back, but Bing refused, citing their agreement that the sale was final. Angered, the merchant summoned accomplices to intimidate Bing. Accusing him of fraud, the merchant ordered the men to attack. However, Bing skillfully defended himself, quickly overpowering them. Frustrated, the merchant threatened to call reinforcements from the Joy Syndicate, claiming the street was under their control. Soon, the syndicate's men arrived. The merchant accused Bing of stealing a valuable item intended as a gift for their leader. Bing calmly showed them the dragon ring he wore. Recognizing the ring's significance, the men hesitated and contacted their leader, Mr. Huo. When Huo arrived, he immediately changed his demeanor upon seeing Bing's ring. He disciplined the merchant for his behavior and apologized to Bing, ensuring that the street would be cleared of troublemakers. Huo then offered to help Bing locate the mystical tools he was searching for. Bing explained his need for a magical writing brush and ancient pens. Huo introduced Bing to Mr. Jutian, a collector of rare artifacts. Jutian agreed to provide the magical brush, but explained that the ancient pens could only be obtained from priests of ancient temples. Before leaving, Bing noticed an unusual chair in Jutian's collection and inquired about its origin. Jutian described it as a rare and irreplaceable artifact. However, Bing warned him to destroy the chair immediately, suggesting that keeping it could bring severe misfortune or even death. Juxian grew concerned and asked, "Are you threatening me?" Huo quickly reassured him, "No, Mr. Bing doesn't mean it that way." Bing then explained, "This chair carries an ancient curse linked to a sorcerer who died on it long ago. The varying snakehead patterns on it are proof of the powerful energy radiating from it." He added, "It's not just decay, it's a manifestation of lingering dark energy." As Bing observed the reactions around him, he felt a deep sense of insight into the mysteries of the artifact. Bing continued, "This isn't just discomfort. The weapon of serpents you're seeking will begin with this chair." Juxian, puzzled, asked, "How do you know about the weapon?" Bing replied, "This chair will turn black, and even your strongest protectors won't save you." When Juxian asked for a solution, Bing responded, "You need to burn it, but not with ordinary fire." Huo supported Bing, saying, "If you can help him, you should do it now." Bing decided to assist. As he prepared to act, serpents manifested from the chair and lunged at him. With remarkable control, Bing absorbed their energy into his body. Juxian, overwhelmed with gratitude, invited Bing to his upcoming gala at the Regal Key Hotel to formally introduce him as a valuable ally. As they left, Huo confided in Bing about ongoing tensions with the Red Dragon Gang and their leader, Feng Sai, who had been targeting him. Huo advised Bing to inform him if any confrontation occurred. Bing returned home and resumed his disciplined training until dawn. The next morning, Bing's mother called him, announcing that Yuki had arrived. She urged him to get ready quickly as she planned to buy him new clothes. Bing hesitated but followed her lead. She insisted on picking a new outfit for him, saying, "You'll wear this to the party tonight." Bing was surprised by her enthusiasm and questioned why she was so determined. She explained, "Your old clothes make my friends laugh at you when they see us together." At the store, Shan and her friend noticed Bing from a distance. Admiring his appearance, they initially didn't recognize him. As they approached and realized it was Bing, Shan mocked him, accusing him of seeking attention. She spat on his new clothes. Just then, Yuki arrived and demanded that Shan clean the mess she had made. Bing dismissed Shan's actions, and he and Yuki left for the party. At the gala, Shan and Xiao also made an appearance. Shan couldn't resist provoking Bing, asking him why he dared to attend. Xiao insulted Bing, claiming he could never belong to their world. Shan once again spat on Bing's clothes. Calmly, Bing reminded her of the humiliation she faced at her wedding. This enraged Xiao, who began boasting to the crowd about Shan's role in Bing's imprisonment. At that moment, Yuki intervened, challenging Xiao's authority. She declared that the hotel belonged to her family and instructed security to bar Xiao and Shan from entering. Mr. Jutian, the guest of honor at the party, remarked, "There's a special guest attending my event." Huo responded, "Mr. Bing hasn't arrived yet." When Mr. Xiao tried to approach Jutian and greet him, Jutian dismissed him coldly, saying, "You're not on the guest list," and walked away. Bing eventually arrived at the party alongside Yuki. Her father greeted them warmly, asking, "I hope the party arrangements meet your expectations, Mr. Jutian." Bing introduced himself as Jutian's guest, earning a warm welcome from the attendees. However, Juqian noticed Bing's disheveled appearance and asked, "What happened to your clothes, Mr. Bing?" Bing brushed it off, replying, "A minor issue with the Xiao family," but Yuki detailed the incident. Outraged, Juqian demanded, "Bring the head of the Xiao family here immediately." Meanwhile, Xiao's son waited outside for his father. When the elder Xiao arrived, he scolded his son, saying, "Because of your foolishness, we've been thrown out of the party." He ordered his son to follow him back inside. As the party continued, Mr. Wenzhong approached Bing and suggested, "Have you thought about starting your own company? My daughter Yuki has considerable expertise and could assist you." Before Bing could respond, Feng Sai, the leader of the Red Dragon Gang, entered the room, declaring loudly, "This has nothing to do with you, Mr. Wenzhong, nor you, Mr. Juqian. I'm here for that dog standing among you." Bing stood his ground and calmly replied, "Regardless of your reasons, barging in like this is unacceptable. This is my event." Feng Sai smirked and retorted, "When I take control of the Joy Hall, I'll make you my obedient servant." Enraged, Juqian ordered his personal bodyguard to intervene, warning, "If this is how it's going to be, no one leaves here unscathed." The bodyguard attacked Feng Sai but was thrown back effortlessly. A second attempt also failed, and Feng Sai confidently declared, "Now it's my turn," before launching a counterattack. Bing intervened, saying, "Enough, there's no need for further harm today." The bodyguard hesitated and asked, "Who are you?" Juqian responded firmly, "This is Mr. Bing, and you must follow his commands." Yet the bodyguard persisted, only to be defeated by Bing, who declared victory. As the bodyguard admitted defeat, he said, "I acknowledge your strength, a disciple of Master Yi." Bing, puzzled, asked who Master Yi was. Huo explained, "Master Yi Feng is a legendary martial artist, known for his mysterious techniques and mastery of combat acupuncture." To demonstrate, Huo threw a needle at Feng Sai's shoulder, making him stagger. Observing this, Feng Sai remarked, "So you're the new hero, aren't you?" Bing, unimpressed, responded, "Enough with the theatrics. If you wish to fight, then attack properly." Feng Sai charged at Bing, but his arm broke upon impact with Bing's formidable body. Feng Sai asked in disbelief, "Who are you, and how do you possess the skills of Master Yi?" Bing replied firmly, "First, I don't have a master, and second, I can learn from anyone who challenges me." However, Huo questioned, "Why didn't you finish him off?" Bing replied calmly, "Not now. Everything happens in its own time." Meanwhile, Feng was already planning his revenge, muttering, "We'll meet again soon." Yuki curiously asked Bing, "Are you a doctor or a martial artist? What's your story?" She playfully chased him around during the party. At the same time, Mr. Juqian remarked to Mr. Wenzhong, "The future of your family looks very promising, Mr. Wenzhong." Smiling, Wenzhong replied, "I hope you'll support us, Mr. Juqian." Juqian responded with a grin, "Support you? With Bing in your family, it'll be you taking care of me someday." Elsewhere, Bing's parents encountered a stranger who confronted them aggressively. He questioned why their son, a former convict, was associating with a wealthy girl from the Su family. He threatened, "If your son doesn't stay away from that girl, you'll face dark days ahead." To add insult to injury, he offered them money to leave their villa, implying that money was a better friend to the poor. Meanwhile, Bing, accompanied by Yuki, received a message from his father urging him to return to their old house immediately. Rushing to the house, Bing asked his parents, "Why did you leave the new home?" His mother answered hesitantly, "Son, Yuki is a good girl, but we aren't like them, and they aren't like us." Bing pressed further, asking, "What happened?" She explained, "Your father spoke to a friend to find you a new job. Also, our neighbor's daughter, Han Han, is looking into a position for you where she works." While they spoke, Huo called Bing, addressing him as boss, and requested his presence for dinner. Bing responded, "I think it's time to leave this conversation and handle the matter of Han Han." After his mother's request to return the expensive villa and her insistence on finding him a job through Han Han's mother, Bing received another call. Their neighbor, Aunt Han, was relentlessly trying to reach her daughter to arrange a job for Bing, but her calls went unanswered. At the same time, Bing's assistant thanked him for his earlier stand against the Red Dragon Gang leader and invited him to dinner. Bing felt it was time to distance himself from Aunt Han's meddling. He finalized the dinner plans with his assistant and made his way to the restaurant. Upon entering the building, a young woman arrived late, calling out, "Wait for me!" She quickly informed her manager that she had arrived. Oddly, she wore an unpleasant-smelling perfume, causing everyone to vacate the elevator, except for Bing. Bing noticed the strong smell of the perfume and asked the girl, "Do you like the scent of this perfume?" She replied indignantly, "Honestly, I can't believe you're talking like this." As Bing focused on her features, he realized she resembled Han Han, their neighbor. But at this point, we have reached the end of this part of the story. A big shout out to our amazing top followers, especially those who leave comments. You're the heart of this community. If you want to know what will happen to Motion, do not forget to subscribe to the channel to get all new videos.